A few months ago, I did a video on AEW Fight Forever, 6 months after its original release. In that video, I mentioned that it had the potential to be the alternative to WWE 2K, with its simplicity and solid gameplay, but at the same time, I felt that THQ and Yuke's should either step up with content or move on to the next game. Well, it has been 6 months since that video, and on its 1-year anniversary of the original launch, the game has changed, for better or for worse. In this video, I take a look at the new additions and changes that have been made since December of 2023 to see if there is still life to this game, or they're dragging around a rotting corpse. So, let's enter the ring and ring the bell on AEW Fight Forever 1 year later. Since my original video back in December of 2023, the game was still in Season 2, and since then, new content has been released. In February of 2024, Season 3 was released that featured 3 new playable wrestlers, Claudio Castagnoli, Jamie Hayter, and the current AEW World Champion, as of this video, Swerve Strickland. It also included a new beachside arena that reminded me of those old Spring Break WCW Monday Nitro specials, where you could fight in the sand and even on the water. Along with that, you get new moves, music, and creation options. One thing that stood out to me in Season 3 was that Jamie Hayter was added, especially when I said in my previous video that she was a notable omission. Also in Season 3, there was free content called Freebie for the Fans, which contains new music and attire options. Then in May of 2024, Season 4 was released, which is the biggest downloadable content pack of this game. It featured 3 new wrestlers, Samoa Joe, Jay White, and the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. The pack also contains 2 new arenas, a Japanese shrine and a haunted forest, which actually looks aesthetically pleasing. It also contains a tournament mode, new music, and customization options for the wrestlers. It also gives the Stadium Stampede a free expansion with added new modes, such as Team Stampede and even a football mode. All of this content in Season 4 came out to $20 US, which actually seems reasonable. Another addition in these 2 past seasons were the inclusions of new original wrestlers called Community Wrestlers. In Season 3, these new wrestlers are original creations created by the members of the AEW roster, and Season 4 added wrestlers based on YouTubers such as Tony Pizza Guy and Chris Danger, which is pretty cool to see, especially if you are fans of their content. At the same time that Season 4 was announced, AEW Games on Twitter announced the new Ultimate Edition, which contains the base game and all 4 seasons of DLC for the price of $99 US. Now, this is something that a game would release when it's approaching the end of support, especially when you read the original tweet, that all being the key word. While it is a good value, imagine if you were one of the people who bought the Elite Edition or even the Bring the Boom Edition. In case you're wondering, the Elite Edition came with the base game, the pre-order Matt Hardy DLC, and the Season Pass. However, it turns out it was only just Season 1 of the Season Pass, and you have to pay separately for Seasons 2 to 4. Meanwhile, the Bring the Boom Edition is the same as the Elite Edition, but includes Season 2 as well. With this announcement of the Ultimate Edition, there was a ton of backlash from the community, and in some cases, rightfully so. I mean, you would feel ripped off too if a special edition you pay for, expecting to give you all of the future DLC content, just for them to say,
"That doesn't work for me, brother."
What a crappy way to potentially end content for the game. Then in June of 2024, Fight Forever was revealed as the free monthly games for PlayStation Plus subscribers, along with Streets of Rage 4 and SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. I mean, not a bad spot to be with a classic beat-em-up sequel and a platformer based on a cartoon. I mean, it could give the game a boost in terms of players. But that's just me being optimistic, if we're being honest here. So, a year after its launch, I think it's safe to say that this is the end of AEW Fight Forever, in terms of content. I said it before that I was enjoying it as someone who played the Nintendo 64 wrestling games like No Mercy or Revenge, and this is the closest we would get to a remaster of those titles. It was a game that was fun for about an hour or 2, and despite adding content, whether it was free or paid DLC, it just wasn't enough. I mean, I feel that some of the DLC should have been part of the game to begin with. Tournament mode, Beat the Elite, even Stadium Stampede. That mode should have been day 1, and I'm sure that would have brought in a lot more players. Even some of the new wrestlers added to the game should have been part of the roster a year ago. Hell, even some of the roster is outdated. It is safe to say that AEW and THQ got greedy when releasing DLC, and this blew up in their face. I mean, some of this content should have been either reasonably priced or released in post-launch updates. In fact, they should just release some new updates for this game. There's still bugs and glitches that haven't been fixed yet. I am hoping that AEW along with THQ reflect on this game and learn to apply all the feedback they received towards the next entry, because at its current state, it's not fight forever, it's fight over. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.